Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Inferno Man here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, we're going to take a small break from the Ninja Turtle cards in the set for a little bit because I want to actually play something that kind of tickled my fancy earlier this week. When we played earlier this week and put up the deck tech regarding the pizza deck, I wanted to really like that deck, but we still kind of fumbled a little bit on it, so I wanted to think, you know what, is there a way we can do an all-food deck and at least one format? And I thought, realizing there is a way you can do it, but what does this all have to do with today's stream? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into right now and show you exactly what we're going to be playing with today. All right, there we are. So without further ado, join me today in the Brawl format as we kind of recreate a deck that actually I have a lot of fun with, although it is using a commander that is a little bit on the controversial side because I know a lot of people don't like this one, but I want to see if we can make him work with this janky plan. This is Korvold's Buffet, everybody. So that is the game plan. All food, all Jund colors, and utilizing here one of the most powerful commanders you can use on a budget for today. Paxton, hello, good afternoon, my fire friend. Actually, I should say good morning because we're still kind of early morning where I am for maybe like a couple more minutes. In any case, thanks again for joining us today. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. All right, so for those of you that are coming in right now, this is exactly how we're going to break this down, of course. We're, of course, going to talk about the stats of the deck real briefly. We'll go over every single card as quick as possible. Then we'll play as many games as we can here in the Brawl format on a budget. And about halfway through the stream, we'll upgrade the deck and see if you like it and how much more stronger it can truly be if you really want to invest. So starting again with the stats, long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So Korvold's Buffet today is a Brawl deck that is utilizing black, red, and green. Technically, we're splashing a little bit for red, so mostly it's a Golgari deck. But in any case, we have 25 creatures in total in the deck. We'll be rocking 8 instants, 8 sorceries, 20 artifacts, 4 enchantments, and 39 lands. So Korvold, if those of you who have not seen this card in action, is an incredibly powerful card. Normally, excuse me. Ooh, ouch, that one kind of hurt. Okay, sorry. So for those that don't know, Korvold, Face Curse King, came out during the first run of Eldraine back in 2019. Wow, that's actually now like, oh geez, like 6.5 years ago now. Time does fly. But in any case, he came out as one of the first Brawl commanders. So this was actually not quite a commander in the traditional sense. It was meant for the Brawl format that kind of didn't really, didn't take off for Wizards. But I still like the format, and I kind of like how they kind of re-envisioned it here in Arena. But in any case, Korvold here is the Face Curse King, Jund colors, 5 mana, 4/4 flying Dragon Noble. Whenever Korvold enters or attacks, you sacrifice a permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold and draw a card. So that is an incredibly powerful ability. Even though it may not seem like it, he will draw a ton of cards before you know it. So if your opponent has no way of stopping him, he'll pretty much get out of control very quickly. In order to do that, however, we do want to make sure we can still provide a good balance for the deck. So we're going to be doing again, all food deck for this. So starting in the 1-drop slot, we'll have Cauldron Familiar. This, and I'll just address it now. Cauldron Familiar has the Witch's Oven. So of course, this is going to be our cute little combo that we can use over and over again. Unfortunately, due to the alchemy nerfs, he can't block, so that's what makes him a little bit worse for wear in this format at least. But in regular Commander, you can use him and abuse him like crazy. With just this combo alone of sacrificing the cat to the Witch's Oven, you create a food. You then eat the food by sacrificing it to the Cauldron Familiar to bring him back from the graveyard to the battlefield. That alone is 2 triggers that would get Korvold easily for just a small investment, 2 cards every time you do that. So just an FYI, that's one of the things we want to abuse for the deck. Otherwise, the rest of the deck is just going to be built around, again, a bunch of mid-range shenanigans here. We have Annihilating Glare, we have Eaten Alive. These are going to be our spot removal cards. We sacrifice a creature to then exile a creature or planeswalker with Eaten Alive. Annihilating Glare destroys a creature or planeswalker. They still do pretty good either way. Shelob's Ambush here, giving one of our creatures +1/+2 and Death Touch until end of turn, so nice little combat trick for us. And then to create a food token, which we can use later on. Urborg Repossession here just brings back a creature card from our graveyard to our hand, and we gain some life off of that. If we kick the spell, we can get 2 cards for the price of 1. Of course, one of them will have to be another permanent card. Gilded Goose here, we have, of course, the traditional little bird here that when it enters, creates a food. You can sacrifice the food to then use it to fix your mana, or you can just keep generating more food with the goose. Guac and Marshmallow Pizza is going to be a unique new card for us. It can be instant spot removal in a weird way, so hear me out for a second here. With the way the card works is you can give one of your creatures +2/+2 until end of turn, and you can untap it. So think of it kind of like spot removal with pump built into it. You can, of course, use it as a regular food to sacrifice to gain some life. Many Partings here allows us to dig out a basic land, put it into our hand, and create some more food. Pippin's Bravery here allows us to sacrifice a food, so then we can also do some additional pump with one of our creatures. Candy Trail here, when enters, you scry 2, sacrifice it later on to gain some life and draw a card. Gingerbrute here is going to be a nice little food golem. He has haste, and of course you can make him unblockable as long as your opponent doesn't have any kinds of hasty creatures on their side, or again, sacrifice it as just like any other food. Nutrient Block here. Indestructible food, so you can use this however you need to. Of course, once you sacrifice it, you then simply just draw another card. Going into the 2-drop slot, we have some more sacrifice value for our deck here. Deadly Dispute, one of the best ones we have in the deck. Sacrifice an artifact or a creature, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure token. Fanatic Offering is not quite as good, but it's still pretty good for our deck. You then sacrifice an artifact or creature, just like the Deadly Dispute, but you get a map token instead of a treasure. Minstrosity here. This horror, when it dies, leaves behind a food token for us to utilize. Savor here, when this creature, you can give a creature -2/-2 end of turn, so great for spot removal against indestructible decks, and leaves behind for us a food token. Courier of Comestibles here. Wait, is it Comestibles? I think I said that right? Comestibles? I said that right. Okay. Any case, Human Citizen here, when it enters, dig out a food card, put it into our hand. If you didn't do it this way, however, you just simply create a food token. Either way, it just creates for us more value. Newfound Adventure / Farseek here allows us to just ramp out with our game plan. Insatiable Appetite, similar to, again, Pippin's Bravery. A little bit more expensive, but it does the same thing. Gives us some extra pump as long as we sacrifice another food. Leaves from the Vine here allows us to mill some cards, creates a food token, put a +1/+1 counter on each of 2 target creatures, and then part 3 draws a card if there's a lesson card in our graveyard. Michelangelo the Heart here, Mutant Ninja Turtle with Trample. We have Raid on him, so as long as you attacked this turn, on your second main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and then create a food token. Paw Patch Formation here allows us to either create a food token and draw a card, use it as enchantment removal, or creatures with flying. Retrieve the Shire here brings back a permanent card from our graveyard to our hand, and then create a food token off of that. Tough Cookie here, one of my favorite foods, by the way. Noobishly Foolish. Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Yeah, greetings. Glad you're here, by the way. You're just in time for us to see the explanation for our all-food deck utilizing Korvold here, and then we'll get into the gameplay in just a few moments. Where was I at? Oh, yeah, that's right. Tough Cookie here. When it enters, it creates a food token, and it's actually a food itself. And then you can use it, however, later on to pump one of your creatures that's actually a non-creature artifact into an actual artifact creature, and that's a 4/4. So you get some good value off of this card if you need to grind out a couple of other ways. Otherwise, just, again, more great fodder for the deck. Speaking of ways we can start churning through our deck more, we have Trail of Crumbs here. When it enters, it makes a food token. If you sacrifice a food at any time, pay 1, and you can look at the 2 top cards of your library, put a permanent card in your hand, and put the other into your bottom of your library. So great for us at any point in the game. Welcome to Sweet Tooth here. Gives us a nice way to kind of pump one of our creatures if we have a ton of food out. Creates for us a human. Makes a food token on part 2. Part 3 allows us to put +1/+1 counters equal to the number of foods we control. Oni Cult Anvil is another way we could sacrifice some of our extra food to create some constructs, which of course goes off of Korvold, helping us go wide little by little, and creates for us a nice little life gain and drain shenanigans. Same thing with the Witches Oven and Culture Familiar plan. We have Ice Cream Kitty here, a food cat mutant. You can use this to sacrifice tokens or creatures and then draw some cards. Realistically, we don't use that often on this deck unless we have trouble just getting Korvold out on the field. But if nothing else, again, just creates a nice little flavor package for the food deck. Arcane Signet is a must for a deck like this because we are 3 colors, so we definitely want to make sure we can fix our mana. Instant Ramen, Lembas, and Omni Cheese Pizza, they all kind of do the same thing here. So all these foods, when this one enters, you draw a card. It has Flash. Lembas here, when this enters, you scry 1 and draw a card. And Omni Cheese Pizza just simply allows us to draw 1 card. Each of these also have their own effects besides, of course, sacrificing for food abilities. With Lembas, once you sacrifice it, you can then put it back into your library, which is nice. Instant Ramen, again, is mostly for flash purposes. And Omni Cheese Pizza, you can then use this to fix your mana if you need to. We have Dubious Delicacy here in the 3-drop slot. This also has Flash. When it enters, give one of your creatures -3/-3 until end of turn. And then you can now, of course, sacrifice it to either gain 3 life or sacrifice it to make an opponent lose 3 life. Dan Splendid, hello, good afternoon, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us today. You're just in the middle of us explaining our deck today, and then we'll get going with the gameplay in a bit. And then continuing on here, we have Popular Egoist, but I'm actually going to address this also with Mayhem Devil. So both of these cards take advantage of us sacrificing. With Popular Egoist here, anytime we sacrifice a permanent, target opponent loses 1 life, and we can gain 1 life. With Mayhem Devil, however, anytime a permanent is sacrificed, we can then target anything for 1 point of damage. And then let's see, where were we at here? Oh yeah, that's right. Popular Egoist also has its own extra ability on top of it, where you can choose to sacrifice if you want to a creature or an enchantment to then give it indestructible. So this can be a nice way to kind of block some stuff for the time being. We have Elephant Mandrill here. This has reach. This Elephant Monkey is a 3/2. It creates a food token, and at the beginning of combat, it gets +1/+1 for each artifact your opponent controls. So this can actually be a nice way to kind of hose opponents that try to get bigger with us. Peregrine Took here is a halfling citizen. If one or more tokens will be created, we create another food token on top of that plan. So this creates for us a ton of food real quickly with it. At the same time, you can sacrifice 3 foods to draw a card with it. It's a little much to sacrifice, but if you need to in a pinch, that actually works well. Return to the Wilds allows us to help dig out a basic land. Either create that, make a food token, or a human token, whatever we need to. Spider Food here destroys an artifact, enchantment, a creature with flying, and leaves behind for us a food token. Tireless Provisioner, I can never stress enough, this is always a must anytime you run run green. Always run this card, seriously. This card, of course, will give you free food tokens or treasure tokens anytime a land we control enters. Greta Sweet Tooth Scourge here, human warrior, legendary creature, 3/3. When she enters, make a food token. You can then later sacrifice food for green mana to put +1/+1 counters on a creature at sorcery speed, or simply sacrifice foods to draw a card. However, you will lose life though. Savvy Hunter is actually another really underrated card for this deck, but it goes great. Anytime it attacks or blocks, makes a food token. Sacrifice 2 food to draw a card. So it's a little cheaper than, say, Peregrine Took here. But again, however you need to, the sacrificing, if you have Korvold, will still give you a ton of cards to build out. Tainted Treats here is going to be a 3-mana instant speed removal spell, destroying an artifact or a creature. If the mana value was 4 or less, create a food token. Academy Manufacturer is probably also one of our best spells for the whole deck. Since we're making a lot of food, if we would create a clue, food, or create treasure token, create one of those each instead. So this can give us a ton of value as the game progresses. Moving into the 4-drop slot, we have Lord Dreg Insect Invader here. If a permanent left the battlefield with its disappear ability, we create a 1/1 Insect Warrior, another way for us to help go wide, or we can simply just use those tokens that we need to draw more cards with Korvold. Speaking of making tokens, we have another payoff for the deck. Anytime we create or sacrifice tokens, we can make our opponent lose life with Mirkwood Bats here. Phantom Train is also another great way to finish off our opponent. This is a trampling train vehicle here, 4/4. We can sacrifice an instant speed with it, an artifact or a creature, putting a +1/+1 counter on it, and becomes a spirit artifact in addition to its other types. So if you need to, you can then sacrifice instant speed to make this chump block, or maybe if the field is clear, you can immediately start attacking with it and start pumping up everything, sacrificing everything to the train. Anchovy and Banana Pizza. This card unfortunately didn't do a lot in our recent deck type, which was kind of a shame, but it is an expensive removal spell. It simply just destroys a creature, but it is 4 mana. However, in a slower, grindy format like our Brawl format here, this actually works really good for us. Knight of Sweet Revenge, another way we can utilize a bunch of ramp with our food tokens. It gives all of our foods the ability to tap for green mana, which is great. And then, of course, for 7 mana, you sacrifice the enchantment and give all of your creatures +X until end of turn, where X is the number of foods we control. Great way to finish off your opponent when we go wide. Provisions Merchant's another way we can do it, but a little bit slower. This Beast Peasant is a 3/3. When it enters, creates a food token. When we attack, we can sacrifice a food, and by doing so, attacking creatures get +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. Wicked Wolf is kind of like actually pseudo spot removal. When it enters, it can fight a creature, and then you can sacrifice food at instant speed to give it a +1/+1 counter, indestructible, but you do have to tap it, however. Ariette's Tempting Apple here is a legendary food. When this enters, gain control of target creature until end of turn. You can then untap the creature and give it haste. So we can steal something away with this apple if we need to. Ideally, get something out of the way that you have a hard time dealing with, and maybe you could sacrifice it with a Witch's Oven or whatever you need to get it off the field. In the 5-drop slot, we have Beetle-Headed Merchants here, 5-mana human citizen. When this creature attacks, you can sacrifice a creature or an artifact, putting +1/+1 counters on it. Old Flitterfang here, at the beginning of our end step, if a creature died this turn, this little rat fairy will allow us to create food tokens, so then we can use it to churn out more stuff. And then we can sacrifice creatures or artifacts to give it +2/+2 until end of turn. Ragamuffin Rafter here, when this enters, bring back 2 food cards, actually 1 target creature or food card from our graveyard to our hand, which is great. Pizza Face Gastromancer here. We didn't get a chance to actually see how well this card does, but we're going to throw it into this deck. So this is a kind of an ugly, actually this is a really ugly art though. So this is a food mutant. He's from the Ninja Turtle set, 2/4. When Pizza Face enters, make a food token. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent left the battlefield, put 3 +1/+1 counters out to 1 other target artifact or creature. So he kind of does the thing that, what is it? I forgot his name right now. Tezzeret, the colorless Tezzeret from Edge of Eternities. Kind of does the same thing, but a bit more expensive. Still, we create some creature tokens, some creatures with our food tokens if we need to with it. And then on top of that, if you sacrifice them for 10 mana with Pizza Face here, you can gain 15 life. In a format like this, that could be a great way to kind of stabilize and survive if we need to in a pinch. And then finally, the final part of our curve here, and one of the toughest cards to deal with, is Feasting Troll King. So this is a 6 mana. He's a lot of, wow, that's a lot of green pips, by the way. So it's a little tough for us to cast, but if you can, he has Vigilance, he has Trample, and he's a 7/6 big boy. When this creature enters, if you cast him, however, you get to create 3 food tokens. And then, however, you could sacrifice 3 tokens to bring him back from the graveyard to the battlefield. So this can be a great finisher for the deck to push through damage no matter what our opponent throws at us. There are definitely going to be other cards you can actually mix and match here, but we'll talk about that near the end of the stream, about cards that maybe I might have omitted that if you think I should have added to the deck, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to hear you out. Otherwise, for the budget deck, we do want to make sure we can maintain that, so we're going to, of course, do it the cheapest way possible. We're just going to go with a lot of tap duels, but that works well for our deck here. So we're going to be mostly actually a lot of basics. 11 swamps, 12 forests, 3 mountains. We only have a couple of these tapped duels, so actually the reason why is because of how Korvold works. We want to make sure we can actually cast everything on time. We do have a lot of ways we can pull out basics out of the deck, so that's actually why we're going to be focusing a lot more on sacrificing with a lot of fetch lands. So this deck really wants you to actually do that to get payoffs from Korvold here. So those fetch lands are going to be Twisted Landscape here. We have Demolition Field, Escape Tunnel, Evolving Wilds. We have River's Overlook, Shire Terrace, Terramorphic Expanse, Vibrant Cityscape. They all basically do the same thing. Volatile Fault, specifically, and Demolition Field are for non-basic land hate, but they do help us, of course, dig out some basic stuff we need. And then finally, of course, Command Tower is a staple in any kind of multicolor deck. But otherwise, that is the whole deck for you, everybody. Whew, okay. Thank you again for hanging in there, everybody. It always tires me out every time I try to do a whole Brawl explanation. But we're ready to go, everyone. So let's go ahead. Let's now play some Brawl. Let's play our Korvold deck, and don't worry, we'll talk about the upgraded deck a little bit later on. But for now, let's see how well this budget deck can do. Noobishly Foolish yelling out Jund. Let's see if we can Jund him out today, everybody, with some value and some food. It's been a while, so I actually haven't played Korvold in actually quite a few years now. So hopefully Korvold will still be able to pull its weight in 2026. I'm sure he can. All right, let's get this going, everyone. Oh, and I did forget to mention that usually I like to put also like to do a lot of effects that for some reason are not working on my current setup. But that's okay, everyone. That's okay. Then Splendid placing 450 here with the streak record is currently watching on a 5 stream streak. Nice. Okay, let's see where we're at here. So we got Newfound Adventures, we got the Farseek, so we got some ramp, we got the Paranigid Took, Omni Cheese Pizza, and Dubious Delicacy. So we got some food. We can hopefully ramp out to Korvold here, and we'll be good to go. For those that are wondering, if you are interested in a link to what the deck has, just remember that again, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. What was I going to say? Oh, that's right. So if you do like what the deck has right now, do not worry. At some point near the end of the stream, we will, of course, we'll explain to you how you can build this deck yourself with our own deck link. So again, I'll leave those details below once we're done later on. Oh, they're playing Heir Apparent. Okay. They're playing Delny, and they're doing the Heir Apparent go wide strategy. So there is something I did forget to mention with this deck like this. Normally, this deck goes really well with outgrinding opponents, but against certain decks like this one here, against Heir Apparent, it's going to be a little bit on the tougher side because, yeah, we don't have a way to stop go wide strategies very well. I mean, we can ping stuff with some of our creatures, but it might not be fast enough. Okay, here comes Delny. Okay, ooh, we got the Mayhem Devil. That's kind of nice. So, is that going to be enough, though? Let's see. Play Mayhem Devil. And then we'll go from here. So, once we get Korvold out, we should be good to go to start sacrificing everything like crazy. It's your favorite shard, you say, Noobishly Foolish. That's good to know. I do like the Jund colors. And actually, my first commander deck... Oh, well, gotta get rid of that bunny. We cannot let them go too wide. So take out one rabbit. But, yeah, my first deck that I put together years ago was actually the, we'll get on a mountain. Was actually a Jund deck that I actually still have to this day. My first commander deck still exists, and I love it. Down to 19, all right. Okay, opponents. Looks like they're going to definitely try to slow us down here. So, let's see. Well, I guess we'll just do the Omni Cheese Pizza for now. We'll draw another card. Okay, Gingerbread's not bad. So, no attacks yet. We need to... We'll get rid of their Delny in just a second here. Before their next Heir Apparent comes down, we'll then flash in Dubious Delicacy. I don't know if we're going to be fast enough to stop, though, this, but we're going to try. Dubious Delicacy. Say goodbye, Delny. Okay, so that does mean that Delny cannot be cast on the next turn here, but that means they can't really go super crazy with their rabbits just yet. Although they are also still going wide. They could be super aggressive here if they want to. Ugh. Okay. Opponents. Swing it away. Ew. This is going to hurt. Down to 15. All right. Are we doomed this turn? We'll try Korvold. We sacrifice. So we're going to at least draw some cards off of this. So at least we kind of see what the deck is trying to do. We'll get out a forest. We sacrifice another permanent. It'll be the Omni Cheese Pizza. Okay, more pings. Okay. Well, I mean, normally, Mayhem Devil alone with Korvold is actually a pretty devastating combo. But, doesn't look like we're going to be able to pull it off with this combo. So now they make all their creatures unblockable, and we lose. Wow, that stinks. Hey, first game of the morning or afternoon, and yeah, we took a beating there. But I mean, hey, that is the gimmick of playing all rabbits. Okay. Not my fan of that gimmick, but it is what it is, everyone. You know what? Maybe we should try that gimmick ourselves. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Any case, shake that off. It's okay. We'll try again, everyone. We'll try again. No big deal. It's all good. So, as we're loading up our next game, everyone, how's everyone's weekend been going so far? Was it Saturday afternoon now? Hope you all been having fun. Yeah, White Weenie Rabbits. It's a cheap gimmick that, ironically, a lot of players play in here in Arena, just because, I mean, it really is actually budget for us. Ultra budget, because once you get all 4 copies of the rabbit, you literally can then just make an infinite amount. So that's actually kind of nice, I guess you could say. All right, play Riveter's Overlook. We need our black mana, so immediately this gets us the black mana. All right, so get our swamp. Our opponent is playing the infamous Cruel Claw, which I played against several times, so this can either be really easy for us to stop, but it also can be very annoying too. We'll see. In the meantime, Arcane Signets. Kitty Cat comes out. Meow meow. Okay, so slowly getting our ramp on. Lord Dreg, that's cool too. We'll put out our forest. Let's see. I guess we'll play Lord Dreg now. Just start making our go wide strategy work. Okay, if we don't get out another land this turn, I guess Lembos will have to be the one to do it. Okay, this Cruel Claw. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. We did get a forest. So, let's see here. How do we want to do it? You know what? Actually, we'll play the Lembos. Scry 1. We'll draw a card. Okay, instant Ramen. I guess that's not horrible for us. We'll draw that. Okay, so swing here. Down to 20. Okay, so game plan right now. Tainted Treats. Cruel Claw does not get a chance to do its thing. When this creature attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Okay. I was like, is there anything we need to worry about right now here? Cruel Claw goes bye-bye. Too bad, opponent. Too bad. Okay. So that buys us the time we need. So, let's see. Twisted Landscape. Played Landscape. Okay, now we should be good to go here. We will start sacrificing. We'll sacrifice our Lembos. Alright. That goes back to the library. And we get to draw a card off that. Ooh, Popular Egoist. Okay, so now we're going to be cooking in just a moment here. Swing with Lord Dreg. Down to 17. We will sacrifice the Twisted Landscape now. Draw another card off of Korvold. He's getting bigger, by the way. We will then add, let's see, add a mountain. So now we have good fixing. Make our insects. Okay, so now we do have blockers against Cypher here. Even if our opponent tries to get ahead of us here. Ooh, Maha. Ooh. Ugh. A little scary. Not the worst, though. Okay, we block here. So we lose an insect, but at least we can prevent the damage. So it's not a huge deal for us. Let's play Forest. Popular Egoist. We get Heaped Harvest. Nice. So little by little here. They got a basic. Let's get out now a Swamp. Okay, so from here... I don't think they're going to... Let's see, they might try to do some shenanigans here, but we'll see. Alright. Make our opponent lose some life. We gain another basic. So this is also the reason why we wanted mostly basics for this deck. It actually works really well with our game plan. Easy ramp. Okay, there we go. Free damage. Okay, and we'll play a Gilded Goose on top of that. Hong Kong. Make another token. Okay, we're doing it. We're going pretty well here. Even though that Maha may seem scary, thanks to the counters from Korvold, we kind of get around that to a degree. Ooh. Ugh. Ko the Face Stealer? Oh, jeez. Okay. So they exile here, but that's not a huge deal for us. We could still get around this plan. Block with one token here. They will trample us. Go to 17. That's not a big deal, though, for us. We still can get around this plan. Ice Cream Kitty. So let's see. Korvold coming in again. Round 2. He does have to reset, though, but it's not a big deal for us. Ooh, instant ramen also. That's good. Okay. Draw another card off of that. Nice, we got a land. And we will sacrifice one of our regular foods. Alright. We're doing it. Play the swamp. Okay, so then from here... Let's see. Do we just swing to see if we can finish off our opponent here? I think we might have to. Let's see. Gotta go big. Opponent, what will you do? They block the cats. Ko blocks as well. Okay, so. Pay now. We will eat this food. Fixes the mana. We have to sacrifice another creature, which is going to be the Gilded Goose. Does this work? Alright. They have to exile thanks to Ko, which is annoying, but that's not the worst. We don't care about that. We just want to see if we can get the final points of damage in since they're all tapped out. 6. Draw a lot of cards off of that. Down to 3. They exile... That's on the stack, so that means we can actually get it back here and now. Drain them out. Down to 2. Down to 1. Ooh, we're so close. We're so close. Okay, opponent. You have one turn to stop us. Either life gain, anything. We'll see. They put it on Maha. Alright. A little scary there. That's a huge amount of damage. Okay. You know what? In case if they have anything else, we'll just block here. Not a good block, but I'm just trying to slow them down. Okay, put that back in the command zone. Okay. Now, our next plan right here is Mayhem Devil, sacrifice one food, and that should be enough to get the win. Unless if they have life gain here and now, I think we can get the win here. We've reached the multiverse. Yeep. What they gets? What they gets? Oh dear. Did they get anything that's going to stop us here? Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, they got Greta. Okay. They make a food. But they can't sacrifice... Wait, actually, they can't sacrifice... Oh, they do. Okay, they do stabilize. Wow, okay. So, how do we get around this? Is there a way around this? Okay, so. Mayhem Devil. Okay, so from here... Okay, I think I know how to do this. We swing here. Big swing. Opponents. Doing everything they can to stop our plan. So, full control to make sure we don't mess this up. Okay, so I think... Guac and marshmallow pizza. Alright, and then from here... What do we stop? I guess it's going to be here on Popular Egoist. Get the pump. We then pay. Wait, hold on, hold on. How do we want to do this? Okay. Okay. I think I know how to do this. Okay. Sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar. Okay. I think we got it now. Okay. Sorry. It took me a second there. I was like, wait, does the math work out? I think the math works out here. Okay. Ping. We then sacrifice it immediately. We then get it here. We got him. Okay, we got him. We got him. We got him. That's game. That's game. 3, 2, 1. And sacrifice one more time. The cats. And there you go, everyone. Victory. Sure, you can exile whatever you want, Ko. We don't care. We got the win. It still counts. Guaranteed. There's no way they can stop that. And there you go, everyone. Woo! All right, we got there. We got there. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Took a little bit of doing there, but we managed to get around their plan, so I'm really happy that turned out as well as it did. Den Splendid, have you seen the new prepare card I sent in Discord? Did you send it this morning? If you didn't, I haven't seen it yet, but... wait. Oh, no, you're talking about the one that does Lightning Bolt, right? That's the one, right? I think that's the one you were talking about. We're definitely got to build something around that, Den Splendid. We have to. We have to do that. There has to be a way I can storm off and make infinite Lightning Bolts. So I'm going to be brewing that one for a little while, until Eldraine comes out. Noobishly Foolish junned them out. We sure did. It did take a little bit of clunkiness there, but you saw, with Fu, we were able to grind them out. Affinity for anime. Nice. Hello, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Appreciate you being here. The Bolt one? Okay, yeah. So I was right. So that is definitely going to be a card I am going to be high on. I don't know if it's going to be good, because doing the math, you have to cast, what is it, 3 spells? Or is it? Okay. The Bolt can be the 3rd spell. So if you play it correctly, what is it? You play the card. So that's 1 spell. Then you play like another cheap spell to maybe draw a card, maybe make some mana. Then you can bolt on the 3rd spell. Then after that, then it resets, and then you have to do 3 more to re-prepare. There has to be a way we can abuse that. There has to be a way. But I'm going to look for it. I'm going to dig out a way to make it work. I don't care if it actually is not going to actually be a good deck. I do want to make it work. So we're going to try. We will try. It's like that card was literally built for what I love to do. But until then, and we'll talk about that maybe in the future. Okay, we got the Forest. Okay, Cold Steel Hearts. Our opponent is playing Raph and Mikey, so those cards are definitely troublemakers. I always end up losing to this card, but we'll see. Maybe today will be different. Geothermal Bog. Gilded Goose. Honk honk. Make our food. Okay, so that means we got 3 mana next turn. Demolition fueled me 4, so that means Mirkwood Bats can come in. Okay. I think we have a path to victory here. Maybe. New Generations Technique. Alright, they got 2 basic lands. Feasting Troll King's not too bad either. But that's going to be a ways away. So until then... we will eat our food. Lord Dreg comes in. Does make an insect for us. So slowly going to start building our plan. Noobishly Foolish. You need some copy that spells. Huh. That is true too. Oh, here comes Raph and Mike now. Here comes Drakuseth. Alright, so we block there. Drakuseth is terrifying, but at the same time, not the worst. We do have removal though, so let's see. How do we want to do this here? Okay. We'll swing with Lord Dreg here. And his ability is only if a permanent left under our control. Okay. So let's see. Drakuseth. Ugh. If he starts swinging... No. Alright. Our opponent here is not playing fair. We're just going to start playing big creatures. So no matter what we do, even if I destroy Drakuseth here, which we do, Raph and Mikey still get in big stuff. Okay, another big creature. Okay. Ugh, that looks painful. Down to 12. Down to 5. Ugh. Running out of time. Okay. So, Forest, is there any hope to victory, or are we just dead? I mean, I could Annihilating Glare. But, I mean, that's not enough for us. Here, I mean, make the food. Which means Annihilating Glare can then sacrifice the artifact. Raph and Mike, yeah. I mean, I could sacrifice here. So they're gone. But that's still not enough. No attacks. Make our token. We're barely holding on. The terror right now... Yeah, they just keep going back. Alright, we'll take that L. They built their deck to make it really big and stupidly strong. So there's not really a way you can really stop this deck. It's just kind of like... Wait, hold on. That's what I want to do. Alright, moving on. It is what it is, everyone. It's okay, though. We still got one good game so far. But yeah, cheating stuff into play. It is still a thing. Okay. Alright, no big deal. Shaking it off. We're just going to keep moving on. So let's see. Hopefully this next one will be a much better one for us. Let's see if we can try to get another couple of good wins. The deck is capable of grinding. As you saw from our second match there, we were definitely capable of holding out. But sometimes you do have opponents, like in the first game, that go too wide. Or you saw with this one, our opponent also goes too big. But it's not the worst. Sometimes you do have those kinds of games where you just, you know, can't do anything about it. But that's Magic for you. That is something I want to ramble about regarding variance in the game. Sometimes, again, there are going to be some non-games when it comes to Magic, but I never really feel like, you know, that's bad. You are going to have non-games in any trading card game, but some are going to feel worse than others. Be aware of that. And then I guess I would say, at least with Magic, the variance feels a little bit better than some of the other games I played. I've had non-games with Yu-Gi-Oh, and those feel really kind of bad. Like, I feel bad sometimes when I lose here when it's a non-game, but it doesn't hurt as bad. I don't know. Does that make sense to anybody? Anybody else out there that plays other TCGs like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, or actually specifically any of the TCGs that don't use a resource system in your deck? What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like Magic and the mana system are okay? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? What are your thoughts, everyone? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. But until then, okay, we got the cats, got some food, got the bats. Affinity for anime. Raph and Mikey's rough. It outclasses the Atali. Yeah, honestly, Raph and Mikey made Atali completely irrelevant, to the point where you literally just play now. Raph and Mikey is now the go-to for your go big, cheat stuff into play deck. And basically, Atali kind of just fits in there in the 99. Not to say that's a bad thing, but yeah, it just feels like now the deck just does really stupid stuff for very little investment. Like, you have to constantly blow up Raph and Mikey, and most Brawl decks don't have enough resources to do that, so it kind of gets them a free win. Okay. Called Familiar. Opponent is playing with Zur, so that means it's going to be enchantments aplenty. See if we can get around that. Dense Planet. Try Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not for me. Okay, I respect that. I actually do play the game once in a while, but it's gotten so much more strong with power creep. I mean, people talk about Magic and their power creep, but Magic's power creep, at least, I can still play old cards. When I play Yu-Gi-Oh!, it just feels like I can't play any of my old decks, so it makes me feel kind of sad. At least that's how I feel. Okay, let's see. We'll play the Haunted Mire. We'll play Candy Trail. Scry 2 off of that. So let's fix our next draws. Okay, Geothermal Bog, Ami Cheese Pizza. That's fine. So we'll attack with a cat. Cat attack. Affinity. To be honest, you stuck with that game longer than I would have. Yeah, sometimes I have a bad habit of going like, you know what? We have a chance. We can still do it. And then I realize, no, we don't. We don't have a chance at all. Okay, Zero coming in. So let's see. I wish we had good spot removal right now. But we have anchovy and banana pizza, and that's a little expensive. All right, in the meantime, Gilded Goose. Let's make our food. Honk, honk. Let's get out the Geothermal Bog. We'll play Nutrient Block. I guess we'll just start putting out all of our food. All right, so you could say we're laying the buffet down. Oh. I think that was funny. Journey to Nowhere. All right, so here comes the enchantments. So they will exile probably the goose. Yep. Zero gets in a free shot. Oh, no. Okay. Doesn't attack yet. That's cool. Let's see. I guess we'll play River's Overlook. So I guess we have a little bit of time to get this going. Let's get our forest out. Omni cheese pizza. Still laying out the buffet. We got pizza. We've got right now, I guess that's roasted pig. We've got candy. And we got whatever the heck that is. I have no idea what that is. Looks disgusting. But I guess that is, I guess you could say what makes it a buffet. Got a little bit of everything. Esper Enchantments is a lovely looking spread. Yep. Yes, it is. Affinity, you got to have a hard counter to Raph and Mikey in your opening hand, like a counterspell or Authority for Consoles. I mean, that is true, Affinity, but it just feels like, every time I fight against the deck, even when I have a good hand to stop the spot removal, they can just keep ramping until they get everything they need. IXC dub subs. Hi, game name. Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us today. You're watching right now us playing Magic the Gathering Arena, so this is based on the paper trading card game of the same name. So, good question on that one. Academy Manufacturer. All right, so we've got now another key piece here that's going to help us make a ton of tokens. But we need to start ramping too. Otherwise, we can't do Korvold things. I also would like to get out the Mirkwood bats, though. But our deck is a little slow right now. It's all good, though. It's all good. At least we have everything we need fixed mana-wise. Dense Blend. Omni Cheese is the one that sounds good. Spicy Oatmeal is decent. As you saw, I don't know if any of you guys saw the deck tech I put out this week. I did try to do a little bit of a twist on stuff. Oh, IXC subscribed. Thanks again for the subscription, my fire friend. Appreciate that. Hopefully you'll stick around and enjoy the gameplay. Okay. But yes, I will say of the pizza food from Ninja Turtles, Omni Cheese Pizza is probably the best one. The worst one I have in hand, and I'm not going to lie, is Anchovy and Banana Pizza. I guess you could say it's on flavor for the fact that it's actually a very unappealing looking pizza in itself. Alright, so I think we should probably let's hit the Farseek now. We need to ramp. We really do need that 5th land drop. Otherwise, Korvold can't come in. Opponents. Alright, cool. Let's get out the Wooded Ridge. It does count to get those, so that's good. Pass for now. We need to have the Academy Manufacturer do stuff. But the only way it does stuff is we have to actually make tokens. Oh, I would love to get Mirkwood bats out. But I think our best solution now is get Greta. Greta next turn will help us get a lot of good value. Just hoping Academy Manufacturer survives a turn. Just one turn. Affinity for anime. I think Nutrient Block is meant to be space rations. Oh, that's right. It's like it's like military rations, but in space. And of course, it looks disgusting. But I guess it's on flavor for it. I guess you could say. All right, so they make a token copy of Enduring Innocence. No surprise there. All right. That is going to be a little bit scary later on. We'll see if we can try to find a way around this combo, though. Feather of Flight. All right. That's fine. We'll draw a card. Get another aura going. If you see stuff like that in Subnautica. I heard of Subnautica, but I haven't actually, I haven't actually played that game, but I know of it. Reminds me of an IRL food called Calorie Mate. Sort of like calorie-dense rations. Oh, yeah, that's right. I know of Calorie Mates being a real-life thing, but I honestly, I got introduced to it thanks to playing years ago Metal Gear Solid 3. That was actually in that game. It's actually kind of hilarious that that's how I figured it out. Okay, Greta coming in. We got to start getting value off our Academy Manufacturer. All right, there you go. We got a lot of tokens now. Nice. Much better. Okay, so is this the turn we Tainted Treats Zur? Do we get him now? No attacks. I need them to tap out. I think that's probably the biggest thing I want them to do. Starfield Mystic, okay. So all enchantments are going to be cheaper. We'll draw some cards. Not a huge deal. It's okay. Okay. Dense Blend. Anchovies and banana will get you screaming at by Italians, and it will make sense. Well, we definitely don't want to make the Italians mad with how bad these pizzas look. But I guess you could say it is on flavor for Ninja Turtles. I mean, they all, if you've seen the show, they eat literally any kind of pizza. All right, so opponent swinging here. I guess we'll tainted treats now. So Zero goes bye-bye. We sacrifice one food and a treasure. Make some more, though. That's good. Dollmaker shop. They make a toy. Okay, do they pay the life? They can get a card off that if they want to. Okay, we go to 24. We go to 21. Okay, got another swamp. That's great. So from here, Overlord. Let's see. I don't know. Actually, maybe Korvold. Okay, because we have now enough stuff here where we can start sacrificing for value. Let's sacrifice our clues. All right. Discard or draw some cards. Spider food's not too shabby either. So for now, though, nothing else I want to do yet. We'll wait it out. If we need to with Greta, we can also start sacrificing and draw more cards. We get a ton off of Korvold himself. So we have options now for the deck. Ideally, though, I want Mirkwood Bats in next turn so we can start really draining out our opponents. But we'll see. They have tons of card draw on their own, though. Okay, Enduring Instance, Entity Tracker. Again, a little scary, but it's okay, everyone. We can find a way around it. Then Splenda. Okay, then. Speaking of pizza, do you prefer yours more meaty or more cheesy? I prefer slightly more meaty. Actually, that's a good question. And I guess maybe, you know what? That's a good question we should ask everyone here. So since we're mostly playing a food-style deck, everyone out there, if you do enjoy pizza, how do you prefer your pizzas? Do you like it with cheese on it? Do you like actually more meats on it, more toppings? Maybe you're a veggie lover? Or do you have like a specialty crust that you actually enjoy? What are your thoughts, everyone? I'd love to hear from you. Until then, however, let's see. All right, let's, hold on. We'll do it this way. Sacrifice here, and then sacrifice a nutrient block. Before Korvold gets exiled, we need to draw a ton of cards off of him. So might as well do this now. Counters aplenty, cards aplenty, but he will also get exiled. It's okay, though. It's okay. Lots of card draw. That's what we want. All right. Ooh, we got the Eaten Alive also. That's good. Okay. Go to 20. They draw a card. Korvold goes back to our hand. So for now, we have everything we need to slowly start beating them down. We just got to get around an Overlord, an Enduring Innocence. But they are tapped out, so that's good for us. Ooh. Ugh. Enduring Innocence goes to 8-7. That's bad. Okay, so opponent is swinging big here. This is, again, where I really wish they didn't nerf Culture Familiar and Brawl. This actually would be a great blocker for us right now if we just only could use it. Okay, so that's what now? That's lethal. That's 11. Wait, no, that's not lethal, but it's close. I think we'll have to let Greta take the hit here. I don't want her to, but that might be her only choice to get around stuff. Down to 12. They go up to 38. Okay, so value now. All right, we got to start blowing stuff up. So spider food. We will get rid of. All right, Enduring Innocence gone. That's a token, so that just dies straight out. That's great. All right. Erebos. Do you do Erebos things? They do. I think we'll make Mirkwood Bats now a thing. And maybe I should have done that earlier, but that's okay. Eaten Alive. So next, hold on. We'll do it this way. So sacrifice a creature. That Enduring Innocence goes bye-bye. You sacrifice Cauldron Familiar. Okay. Ping away. That's gone forever now. Phew. Okay, so their card draw engines are going offline. Cauldron Familiar once again. Sacrifice a food. Num num num. Make our opponent lose some life there. More life. Okay. Phew. Okay, trying to stabilize as best as we can here. It's not easy, but it is doable. Okay, okay, so everyone's asking. So, affinity for anime. You like your pizza saucy? Ooh. Do you like marinara sauce, or do you like Alfredo? Or maybe another kind of sauce? Buffalo? Barbecue sauce style? Let me know. Nibishly Foolish says, deep pan, meat, feast, or farmhouse pizza. Ooh, that sounds really, really filling. And Dense Minute. Mine custom order usually has 3 types of meat, a bit of feta cheese and garlic. Ooh, you guys have some very unique takes on your pizzas there. Nice. Now makes me feel kind of like basic with what I usually order. So usually for me, I have a local place I go to, and I enjoy it. My simple go-to is usually just simple pepperoni and mushrooms. Every time I can, I do like to enjoy some jalapenos on it, so I do like a little spice, even if my stomach also doesn't really enjoy it that much. But I still like it. I do like, however, when I can, extra cheese and extra sauce. So I do like it a little bit hefty on that side. Granted, with the pizza that I do eat, it does mean that the crust itself also feels like it's falling apart. But I don't know. I just like it like that. Maybe I'm just weird. But I enjoy it. What I'm not enjoying right now is we might potentially lose this game right here. But we're going to try to see if we can fight through this. Okay, so that's 10, 11, 12. So we go to 1. Block here. Block the bats. All right. So we block a couple tokens. We go to 3. Okay. I want to see if we can try to pull this off. I don't know if we can, but we'll try. Okay, we can get rid of the Overlord next turn. Okay, go to 28. Forest. We will... At this point, it's pretty much just going to be a game of just blow everything up. Okay. We will sacrifice the clue. Make an opponent lose a life. Overlord down. Whew. Okay, we're trying here, everybody. Okay, Erebos. Do you do Erebos things? We will play... Let's see. Welcome to Sweet Tooth. We make a token off of that. Make an opponent lose life. We will play Elephant Mandrill. Take some tokens. Drain our opponent down to 21. So from there, I guess we'll probably have to crack a couple food just to survive the next turn or so. Okay. No attacks. Okay. We are trying. They're at 20. I mean, at this point... all we can do is just sponge the hit. But we have put up a decent... Oh. Well, we tried, everyone. That right there means an Omniscience. We're dead. So we're not going to survive this. Even if I sacrifice a food right here. Making our opponent lose some life. We go up to 6, and Omniscience sinks it. All right. I'll take my L. I'll take my L. Did we have fun that match? I mean, I did have fun with the match, but I'm still kind of sad that we lost. That's okay, though. I ain't going to be super salty about that one. We tried to push as best as we could, everyone. We fought the good fight. Okay. Let's do one more on the budget. And then after that, for the remainder of the stream, we'll then play a non-budget version of the deck. All right. We're going to lock it in now. We got this, guys. We can totally do this. We got this. We got this. Let's see. All right. So, with our hand here, again, decent enough. We can then start pumping. We can bring back our food. We can start also spot removal. Not too shabby. Sneaky Toilet. Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us. So, let's see. I was trying to catch up also with the chat here. Sneaky is here, lads. Yes, he is. Okay, so Affinity also likes marinara sauce specifically. Okay, that's cool to know. Let's see. Hold on one second, everybody. And... sorry, I'm just trying to check one quick thing. Okay, and then Affinity for Anime is saying also, I can't do Alfredo sauce because I'm lactose intolerant. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I guess you could say I kind of understand how that goes. I love pizza, but I also have to take something before I take it, or else let's just say the cheese does not make me feel good later on. Just FYI. Okay. Terramorphic Expanse. Pass here. I can do a bit of cheese without an upset stomach. Okay. Opponent is playing Vivi, which is going to be also absolutely degenerate. But we'll see if we can try to fight a way around a Vivi. It's tough, but it's not impossible. Let's get a mountain, so now we have good fixing. Guac and Marshmallow Pizza will be good for later on. Get the swamp. Okay, no quick ramp this time around, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. Sensitive stomach? Yeah, I used to drink a lot of whole milk when I was younger, and I did enjoy it. But once I got to adulthood, it just, I didn't realize for a long time. I was like, wait, why am I feeling so bad every time I have milk now. I still enjoy it when I can, but let's just say I've kind of had to dial it back just a little bit. Just a little bit. Greta. All right. So we'll make a food token. So if we need to, we can draw cards a little bit off of her. That's fine. But at the very least, I can still do like low-fat milk and feel okay. At least without having to take anything. But I also still have to be mindful because, again, I'm an aging fireball. So that means I probably should take care of myself a little bit more. Okay. Here comes Vivi. Okay, so. Opponent. Mox Amber. All right, there comes the pings. And the counters. Okay, opponents. Do you have anything else? Any other non-creature spells you're going to try to... Okay, here comes the Wild Ride. Okay. Okay. No surprise that Vivi's going to go off here. I probably should buy a copy, even if the card is right now, what is it now? $25 a copy or $30 for Vivi? Still a little expensive, but I do want one. I do want to make actually a dirty deck myself one day. Suplex. Okay. All right, opponents. You don't have to be that bad, but okay. Looks like our opponent does not want us to play Magic today. Affinity. I feel like I haven't been seeing that much Vivi lately. I mean, realistically, since I've been actually doing testing now, I've been seeing a lot more of the Ninja Turtles, which is nice. It's not bad to play new cards. There's nothing wrong with that. But it has been very annoying to play against Raph and Mikey every other game I've been testing with our budget decks. I do spend a couple... I spend maybe like an hour or so building these decks that I put together for live streams. But then I also have to spend like another hour plus, usually late night, to try to test the decks to see if they actually do work. Sometimes they go great, and sometimes they go terrible. So I try to make adjustments where I can. Okay, so let's see here. Spicy oatmeal pizza. We also have savor, so I still have to do this now. I don't want to do it now, but we have to slow down our opponent here. The Firebrand Archer goes bye-bye. We can't play anything else realistically, but we'll try. And Splendid, I don't have problems like lactose intolerance. That's good. But I just drink lactose-free milk because it tastes better and I don't feel terrible. Also, I prefer to drink kefir. Wait, did I say that right? I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure it's something that you have in your region. Am I right? Vivi's still pinging us. Preordain. Okay. Noobish. Vivi, yeah, the fun police. Yeah, this is going to be a no fun allowed game. I'm pretty sure even if I have removal, they might have a counter spell or two in hand, which probably will make me feel very, very sad. Oh boy. Oh yeah, Grand Arbiter Augustine. Oh, you would think that card, even though it was made years ago, would get completely outclassed at this point, but that card is still so brutal to fight against. Because once that's down, taxing opponent's cards is what's gnarly. But I'm not gonna lie, I have thought of doing that at some point. Oh, it's a probiotic. Oh, okay. Now I know. Let's see. You know what? We'll put down the guac and marshmallow pizza now. Not for any real value. I'm just trying to build up our food account. So if we can somehow get to Korvold before they completely go off, maybe we have a shot. At the very least, Vivi, while scary, can't draw cards. It needs card draw in order to actually do stuff. So at the very least, we have time, sort of, to maybe get around it. Spicy oatmeal pizza. Okay, so let's take out at least... It's probably going to have to be the Oracle. Can't have them scrying stuff. So, Oracle the Alpha. Gone. We take, of course, 3 to our face. I guess that's the after effects of eating this pizza. Okay. 2 cards in hand, opponent. Wild Ride's still in the side. No, they got one of the free spells. Come on. Come on. See? That's why I don't like Alchemy, guys. Literally gets the free Power 9 into your deck. They draw literally into a Mox Emerald. I mean, granted, they don't have the right colors for it, but... Ugh, totally fair. I'm not salty. Okay, last card, opponents. What do you got? Card draw? Pump? Something? Anything? Okay, Wild Ride. Okay, I guess we're just going to go for the aggro plan here. So 10-10. They need one more. Anything else, opponents? Is the last card in hand any spell that kills us? It has to be. It'd be just absolutely perfect for them. Yes, opponent. That means swing that we go down a one. There it is. Okay. I don't know why it took it that long to make that decision, but okay. That's fine. It's fine. Not gonna be mad. Not gonna be mad. It is VV, so it is on flavor. Okay. Well, I think I've had enough of these matches, so let's upgrade the deck. Let's take the time right now to see what would happen if we actually took this deck and actually took it to the next level. Not gonna lie, Korvold is still a powerful card in his own, but realistically now in this format, it just feels like a 5-mana spell that kind of has to... It draws one card when it enters, but that's also going to be something that has been a bit of a liability for us recently because there's no way to protect him in our deck. So, with this version here, we're going to see if we can take it to the next level by pumping it up a ton here. So, with the upgrades for the deck, we're now going to try to overhaul the mana base. It's going to be a lot of our rare duels now that we really want to take advantage of to make our mana fixing a lot better. We'll be adding in, of course, also some artifact lands and everything. We'll throw in, of course, cards that make our game plan faster, like Arena of Glory. If we exert this, Korvold can then start swinging immediately, which is great. We have Fire Exing Tower for instant speed sacrifice to add some more mana. Bachuka Bog now here can then hose graveyard decks. We have also, what else do we want to use here? We have Beseiju, of course, for our artifact enchantment hate in the land base here. The Shire can help us make some more food tokens, which is great for our deck. Of course, we're going to throw in all the rare duels, such as Blood Crypt here, Mount Doom, Rackus Theater, Nurturing Peatland, Overgrown Tomb, Restless Cottage, Underground Mortuary, Cinder Glade, Commercial District, and Stomping Grounds. We'll throw in, of course, the Triome, Zeotor's Proving Ground. We have some real fetches now, like Bloodstained Mire here. We have Wooded Foothills and Verdant Catacombs. And thankfully, because we're mostly a Golgari-themed deck with a splash of red, we'll, of course, take advantage of both Urborg and Yami Vaya, which is perfect for our deck. Of course, we'll still keep our non-basic land hit with Demolition Field and Volatile Fault. We'll throw in, of course, more fetches with Prismatic Vista. Since we have a ton of ways we can make tokens, Fountain Port here can take advantage of those, which is great for our deck. Now, circling back over to the actual main deck here for upgrades here, we'll throw in some more stuff that you technically can't put into the budget deck, but again, I wanted to keep the original budget deck as cheap as possible for those that do like it in paper. I think the paper version for budget was, I think, like $38, $40, so it's on theme for a pre-con, so I think that's appropriate. But now we're going to upgrade some more stuff here. We'll throw in through Cypral Frailties. When you enter this, sacrifice a creature, then gain X life and draw X cards, and with a deck like Korvold here, that's great for our deck. We definitely got to throw in Igra here, making all of our creatures food. We can sacrifice later on to then do some really good shenanigans with him. And also, he's a great finisher for the deck because he gets bigger and bigger with every food we sacrifice. We're going to use Crux of Fate as our kind of like catch-all wrath for the deck. We basically destroy all non-dragon creatures since Korvold is a dragon. So this should be at least, it may destroy our game plan, but at least it allows Korvold to survive. So that's the idea there. Other upgrades for the deck, we're going to throw in now Fell the Profane, so it is a land in a pinch, or it can be spot removal for the deck. Eleanor Gardner here from the Lord of the Rings set, Halfling Scout. When she enters, makes a food token at the beginning of your end step. If we sacrifice the food, we can dig out more basic lands, which is good for us to then fix our mana base there. Other upgrades for the deck, we'll throw in Decimate here, which can target an artifact, creature, enchantment, and a land. However, we have to make sure all those are legal choices to pick, otherwise this card doesn't do anything. So it is a bit of a risky one, but it can be really devastating for our opponents. Other upgrades for the deck, we'll throw in Fable the Mirror Breaker here, because we can make more and more tokens, which is great for our deck. So this can be a way to copy some of our creature spells. Ball Again Recovery. It can be a tap land, or it can, again, just use to dig out whatever we need from the graveyard. Other upgrades that I want to throw into the deck that helps us out here, we'll throw in, let's see what else we have here. We have Camilla the Seed Miser. So it is a Squirrel Warlock, gives all of our squirrels menace. We don't have that many squirrels in the deck, but it can generate for us a bunch of them with our food tokens. We can then forage with her later on to put counters on each other squirrel we control. Other upgrades for the deck here we're going to throw in we have Assassin's Trophy here. Destroys any permanent an opponent controls. They have to get a basic land, which is annoying, but it's not the horrible part. It at least just is a catch-all removal spell. Other upgrades we'll throw in that's going to help us out here. We'll throw in Bloom Tender here. It has Vivid, so that means for each color among permanents we control, we add 1 mana of that color. So technically that means we can generate like a ton of mana off of this just for 1 tap, which is good for us. So we do have a lot of artifacts in the deck. We're going to throw in Weapon Manufacturing, so it creates for us more tokens that are munitions. And when these munitions leave the battlefield, you can ping your opponent for 2. This is great with Korvold to do some low-level pinging against our opponent and the game plan. We'll throw in Super Shredder since we are utilizing a lot of permanents that leave the battlefield. So this is going to be another big spell that gets super, super out of control if our opponent does not have an answer for it. Other upgrades here we'll throw in, and the final ones will be Ignoble Hierarch, which is one of our few mana dorks in the deck, and it's perfect for our deck because it fixes us exactly for what we need. We'll throw in, of course, Ragavan. Ragavan technically doesn't make for us food, but it makes for us treasure tokens and can steal stuff from our opponent, so it can be a very powerful engine for us if we can allow our opponent to, or if our opponent lets us have it. Scavenger's Talent. Anytime one of our creatures dies, makes food tokens. We can level 2 to make it start milling out stuff, whether it's our opponent or it's us. And then finally, level 3, we can sacrifice 3 non-land permanents to then bring back a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. So this can be, again, another engine for us to get through everything. Dark Ritual helps us just do some ramping at instant speed. And that pretty much is going to be the upgrades for the deck, everyone. So that is what we're looking at to make this deck much more stronger than the previous version. But can Korvold's upgraded buffet get us some more wins? Well, once again, there's only one way to find out. So let's take the upgraded deck into this format and let's see how well it can do. That's about it. Now we are fine dining. Yes, we are. We're now going to try to upgrade ourselves to make a much more fancy feast, if you will. Needlessly Foolish, Michelin 3 stars. You guys are hilarious. Michelin 3 stars? I wish. Actually, it's been a while since I've been to a buffet. I probably should try to go back to a buffet again in a bit. In the future, I should say. Affinity. I complained about Raph and Mikey, but I can be even meaner with my Tifa deck that can regularly win on turn 3 or turn 4. Oh, okay. Are you saying you have like a competitive, like, turn 3 win Tifa trampling everything deck? I have seen those decks, but they kind of have fallen off a little bit. I do like Tifa and what she can do, though, with her ability. It is pretty nasty when you're on the receiving end, but it can be fun if you're the one doing it. Any case, let's see. Korvold is Gordon Ramsay, while opponents are the idiot sandwiches. Well, we're just going to see if we can make an idiot sandwich out of our opponent for this one. They're playing with Chatterfang. I realized maybe we could have put Chatterfang into our Korvold deck, too. Something to think about down the line. Something to think about. But we'll talk about all the what-ifs for this deck. There's tons of stuff you can work with when it comes to with a deck like this. There's definitely a lot of ways you can kind of go with Korvold with Sacrifice. You can either go with tokens. I mean, I like the food because I think that's on flavor for Korvold himself, so that's why I like it. But there's definitely a lot of things you do, like life gain and drain shenanigans if you want to. You got all kinds of stuff. Heaped Harvest. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's dig out. What do we dig out here? I think we should dig out a forest. All right, so it means Wicked Wolf can take out something if we need to. World Weave. Okay, it's an alchemy card. What does this do? Whenever cast a creature spell, seek a land now. Totally fair. Totally fair. It's okay. But thankfully, we have spider food, so I'm sorry, opponent. That cannot stick. Too bad. And then from there, I guess we'll play our Phyrexian Tower, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're set up for Korvold next turn to start drawing cards. Ooh, Toski. Okay. Toski's a good card, too. Okay, Instant Ramen coming in. We draw a card off of that. Nice, we got the Fountain Port. That's good, too. Ooh, Eaten Alive. Okay, so this means that Toski can go bye-bye. Too bad, opponents. You're not getting free card draw off of us. Okay, so little by little, this is actually now where, when they're only playing a couple of threats here and there, the deck can shine a lot more. So now you can see our spot removal does pay off with a deck that's only getting like 1 or 2 creatures a turn. So this has so far been pretty good for us. Korvold. All right. I guess I could have played Wicked Wolf, but I really want to start drawing cards now. So let's get the Heap Harvest eaten. Num num num. All right. That does pop up their plan, but that's okay. We still have a way around things. So let's get out of Swamp. Draw a card. Okay. And then we will Annihilating Glare now. So we have to sacrifice an artifact, but that's exactly what we want the deck to do. So need some more food. Cleaver does get a little bigger, but we draw some more cards. Say goodbye. All right. Not too bad, right? We've been able to keep our opponent under control this time around. 4 cards, opponent. What you got? Is Chatterfang coming in yet? If they do, Wicked Wolf can also be devastating. Rue? Acorn Scrout. Oh, that's okay. It's another alchemy card. What the heck does this do? I can never keep track of these cards. Okay, they forage. They conjure a chitter spitter into the battlefield. Okay. Whenever one or more squirrels deal combat damage to a player, sacrifice a token. Put an acorn counter and control. Okay. Okay, so, once again, it's another card that we cannot allow to stick. So, I guess that means Wicked Wolf has to come in now. Okay, full control. Wicked Wolf will fight. Wait, no, hold on. Activate his ability. I almost did that wrong. Okay. Okay. Terran, Soul Cleaver, triggers, but we don't care. Draw into the card, okay. Pump. Okay, now that's off the field. Okay, good. Soul Cleaver doing nothing really. Okay, and then we'll play Ice Cream Kitty. Guess we'll just play it there. Hold on. Actually, hold on. Wait, hold on. We play this there. There we go. Now we got it. Korvold does swing. We will sacrifice Kitty here. Getting more card draw. He's getting bigger. He is getting full of food. Boom. Down to 18. And then, do we want the Ball Again recovery? I think we'll save Ball Again recovery just in case. Just in case we might need that. Elephant Mandrill actually might be good on the next turn too. We'll see. Affinity. I mean, if my opponent doesn't remove Tifa, or I can protect Tifa, and I draw Entish Restoration, it's pretty much game over. Oh, okay. That's her plan. Okay. We did play Tifa in Pioneer last year, and actually was a pretty good card overall for us. I really like what she can do. I actually probably want to get a copy of her at some point for my collection. Just one. Alright, Elephant Mandrill. Alright. Get our monkey out. Makes a food for us. Dowsing Device. Oh, maybe I should have played that the other way around. That's okay. Not a big deal, everyone. Wicked Wolf gets pumped. We will then play... How do we do this here? Lembas. Okay. Pump. And Vault of Whispers, we'll keep that. Flips. Nice. Vault of Whispers. Gets pumped there. All right. Now we got a good swing here. Okay, we'll sacrifice the Lembas. Draw some more cards off of that. I just love how this deck just goes off. So if your opponent, like you see here, does not have an answer for Korvold, he just keeps becoming a bigger threat as the game keeps going. Okay, opponent wants to block the Wicked Wolf. That's okay. We don't care. Eat some more food. Make the wolf bigger. Down to 1, opponents. Okay, you have 1 turn. Oh, wait, no. We win right here. We have Culture Familiar for the win. And there you go, everyone. Victory goes to us. All right. We did it. Yeah. Nice. Eating our way to a win. You love to see it. All right, there you go. So that was a pretty solid one for us. We were able to keep them completely off balance. But this is, again, where the deck shines the most. If your opponent is not going super big or super wide, we could just outgrind them with our strategy of just eating food nonstop, drawing a ton of cards, and easily maintaining control. That was a really good outing for us there. Okay, we're playing against Rotodrobic. Okay. It's been a while since I played against a Rotodrobic, but should be fine. Right? Should be fine. Where's the lamb sauce? I don't know. Good question on that one, Noobishly Foolish. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so we got the weapons manufacturing. That'll be good once Korvold hits the field. But until then, Rotodropic's going to start making tokens at some point. Play the Blood Crypt, but we don't need it tapped. Or untapped, I should say. So we'll keep it as is. Okay. 2 lands, alright, that's fine. Play the Swamp. Weapons manufacturing coming in. Definitely my all-time favorite card from Edge of Eternities. I've been trying to make more decks around this ability. I think we can try to see if we can squeeze it into an affinity deck at some point. Okay, Aaron. Banalish Ruin. Okay. Interesting. Arcane Signet coming in. Make a token. We got some munitions, so we're loading up on our munitions here. What's nice also is we can use them as also targets with Deadly Dispute. This should be good for us once we get to a certain point. Restless Cottage. Okay. That is going to come in tapped. But let's see here. What do we want? Do I want to do the Mayhem Devil now? I think we might. Okay, so Mayhem Devil's now in. So little by little, we got to start pinging away at our opponents, unless if they have removal. They are playing Orzhov, so that could mean removal. And they have a lot of lands ahead of us. We are missing our land drops. Affinity. The Tifa deck also has a backup mode too. That's pretty standard mono green landfall. Okay. I mean, that makes sense to do that. You definitely want to have a backup plan in case if everything falls apart. Yes, finally some good freaking food. Oh, they did have to feed the swarm. Oh. Maybe I should put in feed the swarm for flavor purposes in this deck. Just literally from the name itself. Ooh, Felder Profane's not bad either, but we need the lands. So, that's enter tapped. I guess here... Sacrifice the munitions. Take out Rosie Cotton. She does come back, unfortunately. So she returns as a token. Interesting Orzhov token now. Okay, so it makes a lot of food. Counters aplenty. Draw some cards. Okay, so we got a Rakkus Theater for the future. Let's see. I guess we'll play the Trail of Crumbs. Make another food. Okay. So, we have enough for Korvold to finally do its thing, but is that fast enough? The Wind Crystal. Okay. Still not looking too good here, but we're going to see if we can try to survive. So that hits us for what, 11? Oh dear. We got like one turn here to maybe turn this around. I don't know if we can, but... Oh, Eaten Alive is not bad either. The Rakkus Theater. Surveil. Okay, Witch's Oven is not bad once we get to it, but it's going to be a little while. Let's see. Lembos. I don't know if we can stabilize here. We're going to try, but I don't think we can. Maybe we don't need the Witch's Oven after all. Draw a card off of that. Feasting Troll King. Not bad, but... Let's see. Michelangelo the Heart. Okay. So, here, Eaten Alive. We have to sacrifice Michelangelo, unfortunately, but this gets rid of Aaron. Sorry, Mikey. Cowabummer. So he goes bye-bye. We take out Aaron here. He's gone, which is nice, but it's just not enough. Okay. We tried. We tried, everyone. It's all good, though. It's all good. Shake that off, and we'll try again for another game. Okay, so it's okay. I will say, though, the deck is not performing as well as I was expecting it to. I mean, it seemed like a good in theory, but maybe we're just not fast enough. Having said that, though, I still wanted to maintain the food theme, so I know there are some people that might argue with me that the deck is not streamlined, but I wanted to at least make this food theme work in some way. So that's kind of the reason why we're sticking to it while we can. But so far, it's been pretty decent overall, and you've seen we can actually definitely grind out wins with this when we can. Despite all that, again, as a reminder, if you do like the deck overall and you're interested in taking it for a spin yourself, I will leave, of course, links for this in the details below once the stream is over. If you are enjoying the content in any way, whether you're watching live or on the replay, everyone, show some love if you haven't already done so. And please, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, and so much more. Alright, so enough of me shilling for now. Okay, ooh. This is actually a pretty good hand if we can get a ton of artifacts out. Opponent's playing Yarok. Ooh. It's been a while since I've seen a Yarok deck. But could they be an Elementals version? Or are they going to be the just ETB double everything version? Guess we'll find out here. Verdict Catacombs. So we get a fetch land. This is going to be painful. But a turn 1 Ragavan can be devastating. So we got out Ragavan now. If our opponent does not have an answer, we can ramp very quickly with Ragavan. Okay, Surveillance. Okay, so that means the coast is clear for Ragavan to start stealing stuff too. Okay, so from here, weapon manufacturing. Steal a card. Ooh, an Overlord stolen? Thank you, opponent. I appreciate that. Seasoned with Spice, that one wasn't very nice. At the very least, even if we can't cast it, at least Overlord is gone from their deck. So that is helpful for us. Okay, opponents, what else you got? Again, if they don't have removal, the more Ragavans can stay on the field and do damage, the more value we can get off of him, and it'll be really gnarly for our opponent. But until then, let's see. See if we can get another free shot in here. Do you have an answer, opponents? Oh, they do. Okay. Well, unfortunately is that maybe at least Ragavan got one shot off, so that at least we got some free value off of him. Get a forest for free. Thank you, opponent. We'll play Arcane Signet. It makes a token for us. Nice. Cinderglade. Bloom Tender. Okay, so it can at least go for 2 mana, which is great. Okay, so from here, we have some options. Opponent is actually slow, so that actually is in our favor. But can they be slow enough for us to actually do our thing? Okay, so we can cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 off of that. Okay, they millin'. Wait, what they mill? Ooh, Demonic Juncture. Null Priest of Oblivion. Ooh, Academy Manufacturer is delicious for our deck. Okay, so first off, Korvold Faith Curse King. We need him first, so we can get more value. We'll then sacrifice the munitions. That destroys the Null Priest. Ping. Draw a card. Nice. And then this now actually taps for 3 mana, so that's actually perfect for us. The Manufacturer coming in. Make another token off of that. All right. We have a solid setup right here. Our opponent needs to blow away something here, or else we will get all of the value for our buffet here. We will definitely get our money's worth, if you will. Okay. Opponents, what you got? Guardian Project. Okay. That's cute. Okay. Bloodstained Mire, which is excellent for our deck right now. All right. Get that value there. Ooh, Igra. Igra's good too. Okay, so from here, let's see. I guess we'll get, what do we want here? I think we'll get out, get the Mortuary. We'll get that. We get Surveil for 1. Ooh, Michelangelo. Keep him on top. And then play Igra. Makes everything into food now. We'll play Sweet Tooth. Make that food. All right. There we go. We're doing it. We'll play keep the Nutrient Block. Oh my goodness, we're going off now. Now this is what you want the deck to do. Down to 15. Okay, opponents. A Wrath pretty much is the only thing that saves them now, but I don't know if they have that for a Yarok deck. Do they? Ryan O'Hara, hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. Do you see the YouTube chat? I do see the YouTube chat. However, I have to also keep up another screen or so in case anybody's chatting on X or Instagram. Not too often I get chatter there, but I still want to make sure that every voice that is watching the stream actually can hear me out. So again, shout out to those of you that are watching from other places where unfortunately I can't get the chat all in one spot, but someday we'll try to make that work. Until then, however, Fable Passage. Okay, so this should be basically, this should be it here, everyone. We got this, we got this. We'll sacrifice a creature. Lose our token. That puts more value on all of our creatures. Oh my goodness, we're just going off here. Okay, Mikey coming in. That makes a token for us because he does count as an artifact. This is why I love this combo, by the way. Let's see. Hold on 1 second here. Eleanor. All right. More tokens. Oh, I love this deck right now. Now this is where you really want to have fun with it. Okay, so one more. We'll get out. You know what? Honestly, it doesn't really matter at this point. We will just do our swing. Big swing. And then I guess we'll sacrifice a clue. Not that we need to. Draw another card. And then, you know what? We'll sacrifice another clue. Get more value. Draw another card. Draw another card. Okay, well, you do, opponents. Let's Let's see. And you know what? Let's get that victory in here now. Eat some more food. Eat some treasures. 12. Boom. Down to 2. More counters on Idra. And then what do we want here? You know what? I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just put them on here. And then from there, is there anything else we can really do? I guess courier comestibles? Of all the card draw in the world. Maybe we should stop. Okay. We want the food card. What do we even want? I mean, honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter what we get, but I'll get the anchovy banana pizza in case we need spot removal for whatever reason we do. We'll get out another basic land, get out of mountain, and then we have to discard 2 cards. At this point, I guess the ignoble hierarch and I guess the Urborg. Oh, opponent! I guess it doesn't matter there because we were just going off there. All right. I'll take that one. That was definitely a solid win there, everyone. That's when the deck really, really shines. Great showing for it right there. But all right. Nice. Okay. So there we go, everyone. Looking good there. All right, so as you can see now, we are closing in on the last quarter of today's stream. Just giving everybody always a heads up as to how much time we usually stream for. As much as I always enjoy streaming as long as I can, usually 2-ish hours is probably the most I can do, everyone. But of course, I do appreciate everyone that's been here today. And again, as a reminder, if you want to show some more love for us, we do have both a Patreon and a members-only playlist on YouTube. If you want to show a little bit of love, maybe donate a little bit of extra money that could help us, of course, put out some more exclusive content that I'll try to put up for those of you that are exclusive members, getting unique stuff to check out that normal viewers don't get a chance to see. If nothing else, though, you can also join our Discord that we also have up. All those links, of course, will be located in the details below and be part of our group of fiery friends as we grow and grow. But either way, just watching today is all the support I can still appreciate from you guys. So thanks again for doing that because your views help keep this channel going. And all links, of course, will be located one more time in the details below when we're done. All right, let's see. Yes, we were eating good there. Okay, great stream, but we need to head off to work. Have a great rest of your stream. Okay, that's okay. Still appreciate you popping in just when you can, Noobishly Foolish. So thanks again one more time. Have a good day at work, however. And we'll hopefully again see you again maybe tomorrow. We'll try to do this again tomorrow morning as well. Always be sure to burn bright, my friend. Later. Vicious Rumors off the top there? Oh, okay, they're playing Haunt the High Tower. I haven't seen anybody play this card in a long time. I don't know if it's still good, but I guess we'll see. Okay, what do we throw away here? We have a ton of lands, but also I don't want to lose our lands too much here. But Flitterfang is not bad. Assassin's Trophy. We'll lose Flitterfang. I don't want to, but that probably might be the best solution. Let's play... What do we want to play here? Let's Command Tower. Candy Trail sets us up for the next turn, so we get to scry 2. Okay, newfound... Ooh, okay, okay. This is a good hand here. We'll get the weapons manufacturing on top. So this way, we can start getting value off of those munition tokens again. Okay, weapons manufacturing. We'll play Demolition Field. Manufacturing ready to go. We're just going to start turning out a lot of munitions that Korvold can eat. Although, I don't know if you actually want to eat ammunition. But, I mean, you get the idea. We're just doing our thing. Ooh, they draw cards. Okay. That's fine, 2 opponents. Let's see. We'll play Vault of Whispers. That's free munitions there. Farseek. Speeding up our plan. Let's get out the Cinder Glade. So we surveil 1. Okay, Deadly Dispute's not bad on top. Nutrient Block. More munitions. Okay, so we should be set up here for the next turn. Oh, the Darkness Crystal. Okay, so let's see. Haunt of High Tower. They don't have haste on it, so obviously we're fine. Okay. Cinder Glade on top. Do we want that now? I guess we'll keep that on top. And then we'll wait it out. Affinity. Currently working on my Easter proxy design for just tomorrow. Nice. Ooh. I can't wait to see it. I'm sure you have something cute set up, right? A bunny? Or maybe it's like one of those baby chicks. Speaking of which, I realized since tomorrow is that day, I forgot that I probably should have something on theme for tomorrow if we're going to be playing on another live stream on a holiday. It's been a little while. I mean, we did miss out, unfortunately, on St. Patrick's Day, and we missed out technically on April Fool's Day because I was been a little busy here and there. But we'll see if we can maybe do another Easter deck for tomorrow. Cinderglade. But until then, Korvold. And then we will eat the nutrient block. Num num num. So get some card draw for that. Not bad. All right, reproducing. Okay, oh, we got the Yami Vaya. That's good for fixing. I want them to play Haunted the Hightower now, so I could just Assassin's Trophy it. Oh, Blood in the Snow. Ow. That was a choice, opponents. That was a choice. Okay, Yami Vaya. But Korvold does come back in again, so we will use him again. Eat one of our munitions. Hang our opponent at least this time. Draw another card off of that. Ooh, Feasting Troll King. That's good. That'll be really, really helpful for this next turn. The Immortal Sun. Well, thankfully, our deck does not use Planeswalkers, so we don't care about that much. Underground Mortuary. We will Surveil, so fixes our draw. Okay, we'll keep that. Feasting Troll King coming in. And since he was hard cast, we make a ton of food off of that. All right, we will eat another munitions, so we can do some more damage. Ping. Down to 21. Draw another card. Boom. Down to 15. Make a Gilded Goose. Do its thing. I wonder if our opponent maybe was a little preemptive on that Blood on the Snow. That would have hurt us here a lot, but thankfully, we got around that. Do they play Haunted the Hightower? They do. Okay. We are ready for that, though. We have an Assassin's Trophy waiting in the wings. So our opponent tries to get sneaky here. At least we can get our revenge. They have to attack, though, with it. Okay. Hexproof from monocolored? Well, Assassin's Trophy gets around that. So until then, let's see. What do we want here? I guess Peregrine took. So let's see. We'll just swing here. Eat the Candy Trail. I forgot that actually. Ooh. Oh, that actually hits him too. Okay, well maybe we might have to do this now then. Okay, Assassin's Trophy goes bye-bye. So there we go. I realize now, I'm like, wait, his ability also pumps him up too. Okay. Well, that actually buys us some time here. Draw some cards. And then maybe, oh, we can get the win here. We can do this right here. I'm so silly. Draw some cards. Draw some more cards. Okay, there we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Did we have fun? Yeah, we had fun with that one. I realized, like, wait, we just blew up the Haunted the Hightower and we got a free win there. Okay, well, there you go. Sorry, opponent. Didn't get a chance to have your deck go off. But it's time for me to actually get a couple of easy wins here and there. Okay. So, feeling pretty good about that one. See if maybe we can ride this high and hopefully we can get a couple more wins here and there today before we are done. Okay. So, looking at the clock right now, probably about maybe, depending on how long the games go, anywhere between 1 to 3 more games. But I'm going to try to shoot for at least 2 solid matches here. And that probably would lead us to the end, considering this deck does feel a little grindy at times. So hopefully we'll get 2 more solid ones that have nothing else. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. All right. Let's see. All right, go first here. Okay, Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, good for fixing. We got Tireless Provisioner also for ramping. Solid. We got a solid hand here. Let's see. Opponent is playing with Magda. Again, there's so many cards that I've been wanting to play again, but just because of how fast we've been moving in Magic the past couple of months, it's been really hard for me to keep up with not only the relevant cards from the latest set, but also cards that I end up forgetting about because we go so quickly. I don't know. Does anybody else feel that way too? Like there's a lot of cards that I want to build around. I just haven't had all the time in the world just because, I mean, I'm kind of just a part-time content creator. I do enjoy making stuff. So I guess on the one hand, oh, they burst like boo opponents. It's okay. It's okay. We won't be mad. But yeah, in all seriousness, like I want to play more games. I would love to stream more. I just don't have all the time for it. Again, this is only my part-time thing, everyone. But I still enjoy it just the same. Okay, Magna coming in. Dubious Delicacy would be nice, but we don't have what we need. We are now floundering because we don't have the mana. Losing that Ignoble Hierarch did hurt us a lot. Because I could have Dubious Delicacy Magna out of the way to keep it clear. Okay. Lightning Strike. Okay. Opponent is trying to commit crimes against us. So, I guess we'll just do this now. Sacrifice to make some food. Okay. Magda makes the treasure. Okay, down to 21. Eat the Life's not bad, but we don't have what we need. Okay. Alright. Okay, deck. Well, if at this point we don't get a land or two in the next turn, I'm just going to quit. Because this is going to be a non-game. So this is kind of what I was explaining earlier with non-games. With non-games like this where you don't really get a chance to do anything, it feels kind of like meh. But it doesn't feel like it hurts as badly as, say, like something from another game type. Okay, opponents. They go after their own invasion. So they hit their own battle. So it buys us time, sort of, in a weird way. Okay, we got a Beseiju. So we're not dead, but we're not quite where we want to be at. Okay, so for the next turn, okay, they commit a crime again. Okay, they can sacrifice instant speed. I guess we'll do this now. Dubious Delicacy. Magda goes bye-bye. So they're going to have to hardcast her for what? 4 to do stuff? I mean, they could still do their treasure shenanigans, but they're going to be slowed down just a little bit. Okay. They sacrifice their tokens to make a dragon. They flip the invasion. Okay. Opponents. Disciples of the Inferno, so they get a little bit more damage off of that. Player Urborg, so now we have good fixing, but we're still a little behind on what we want. Okay, so for now, blow up the Disciples. Okay, still a little slow on what we want to do here. Laszlo. See, this is another card I actually do like from the Spider-Man / Omen Path set, but we haven't had the time at all to actually build around it. At some point, I will try, though. Maybe I'll put out a poll in the future about forgotten, I'll say, cards that we can build decks around that you guys might want to see on stream. Let me know again if there's other cards that you've seen or haven't seen on stream that you would like for us to dig deeper into. There's like so many cards now. Dense Planet finally got an Azorius land base with a 5-set AK Shocks, Verges, Fast Surveillance, and Plain Lands. Nice! Glad you were able to build out your mana base there. It always feels like it takes forever. Sneaky Toilet, Slivers. Sneaky Toilet, we played Slivers already. I mean, we played Slivers when Edge of Eternities was ending, so we actually did have that live stream go out. Wait, were you here for that one? I don't remember if you were. I suppose we could look at Slivers again, but maybe for a 60-card deck? We haven't actually done a 60-card version of Slivers. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe. Tireless Provisioner. We're hoping we get a land drop on the next turn or so. And we can do that, we can ramp, and hopefully Korvold can actually do Korvold things. But until then, we'll see what we can. Sneaky Toilet. Dragons too? I mean, when we did Tarkir last year, we actually did dragons as well. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We can always go back to dragons at some point. I actually am trying to think in my head. Is there a creature type we haven't touched upon yet? That we've actually wanted to dig into, but we haven't had the time for. We've actually done a lot of creatures and creature types over time. Down to 3, by the way. Ugh. Please don't have any burn. No burn. No burn. Red Cap Malite. Oh, dang it, opponents. Okay, fine. We have the Witches of it and fortunately our Tireless Provisioner. Yeah, we actually did do. It was a 5-color dragon deck with Tiamat. We were using all the Tarkir dragons dumped into a 5-color dragon deck, Sneaky Toilet. That was just before we started playing Final Fantasy, like literally almost a year ago now. Oh, they made another dragon. Affinity. Non-games exist in all of the TCGs, and games for where there's a random element, but Mana Screw and Flood feel worse because it's so clearly nothing rather than feel like they were hanging on. Rogues? Oh, actually, it has been a while since we've done a rogue deck. I feel like rogues kind of fell off because ninjas just feel now way more popular than rogues. But we can also look at that too. Nothing wrong with that. I guess I'll have to dig a little bit. Maybe I'll ask also on another poll about what kinds of, creature types we want to hit. There's definitely a lot of creatures that we still haven't touched upon yet that I would like to. So we'll eat one food to draw a card. I would love for us to use the Eaten Alive, but I don't want to sacrifice Korvold to do so. Dang. I kind of wish this was something else instead that would allow us to blow up their cards. But even so, we're pretty much sunk here. Even if we block, even if we remove, yeah, that's game. Man, so sad there. Okay. Okay. We're going to shake it off, everyone. Looking at the clock right now, this next match will be our final one for today, everyone. Also because I need to eat. I haven't actually eaten all day, so I probably should do that at some point. But seriously, final game, everyone. Win or lose, we're locking it in here. We're going to try, everyone, to see if we can get one more win with our food deck today, everyone. Can Korvold's upgraded buffet serve up a victory and serve our opponent a defeat? Let's find out. Have we done ninjas? Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we did like a couple weeks ago when we had Ninja Turtles first come out. We had a Master Splinter deck that was Esper Ninjas. Yeah, I realize now we've run around the gamut of most of the major creature types, I should say. We've done everything from bears. We've done squirrels. We did all the creatures from Bloomborough. I mean, that was actually a fun time for us. I don't know if... I guess I have to dig a little bit. Or maybe we might look at creature types we haven't played with in a while. I mean, we've done bats too. Now we're doing food. Yeah. Not to say there's nothing wrong with rekindling old decks. Nothing wrong with that at all. But it's I have to think again, like, what have we yet touched upon? I don't know. We haven't done, I don't know, clerics, technically. We haven't done a Brawl deck based on angels. Stuff like that, I mean, I can look at. Okay, Wooded Foothills. We're going to crack this sucker. Let's see. Can we get it here? Let's get... we need... I want Perfect Fixing, so let's get Zeotora. Got our Proving Grounds. That's good. Volatile Fault. Omni Cheese Pizza. Start drawing some more cards. Make sure we can get to what we need. Good. Vault of Whispers is good. They're playing Galadriel. So see, another card like this. So, same thing. Scrying is a theme that I'd like to touch upon, but we haven't had a chance to do this. Maybe we'll save Galadriel for when we get to the Hobbits. So when we get back to the World of Token, I think that'll actually be fun. Okay, Vault of Whispers. We will play Ginger Brute. All the artifacts in the world, everyone. Witch's Oven. Nutrient Block. All right. Swinging away with our Ginger Brute. Good luck. Well, thanks for that good luck there, Affinity for Anime. My Demir Bounce deck name is 2 Bounce 4. That's hilarious. 2 Bounce 4? I like that. Very clever. Okay. Ooh, Ignoble Hierarch is nice too. So, Ignoble Hierarch. Nice. And I guess we'll do this now. Sacrifice the Nutrient Block, but that allows us to draw a card off of it and draw 2 more cards. Nice. Ooh, we got that Weapons Manufacturer. Oh, I've got to get this into play. No attacks yet. And we also have an Academy Manufacturer, so we are definitely making what we need. Mossborn Hydra. Ooh. That can't stick. So I think this might be... Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of that net quick. That's going to get out of control if we don't deal with it. And we have gotten blown out before by Hydras. Okay. Wow. Ugh. 12-12 already? Well, at least it doesn't have haste. If it had haste, we'd be in serious trouble. No blocks. We'll take the 3. Okay, so got a swamp. That's good. So from here, play the Academy Manufacturer. We will cast Eaten Alive. We sacrifice Ginger Brute here. All right. Okay. Phew. Threat down. Oh, maybe I should have played the Weapons Manufacturing first. That's okay. Not a big deal, everyone. Okay. Their biggest threat is completely gone, so at least now we have a shot of still winning. They still got a lot of cards in hand, though. Tatyova. Okay. Here comes the life gain and card draw. Joy. But we are going to build around a Tatyova deck for ultra budget players out there at some point, so that is coming soon. Stick around for that, everyone. That is coming. All right. Okay, here come the ramp, the draw, all the goodness. Okay, is that a bit, opponents? Is that it? Okay, they do swing. No blocks, of course. Got to keep that Academy Manufacturer running a little bit longer. Okay, so this should be our turn now to finally go off. So, Polygon Sanctuary. Tough Cookie. Make those tokens. Woo! All right, that's what we wanted. Okay. Sacrifice a token with Mirkwood Bats. Still no attacks, but now we definitely have everything we need. So once we get Korvold out, we can start sacrificing, generating a ton of value, and hopefully we get to what we need. Okay. They are going to still build up their stuff here. If they have trampled, that's when we are in serious trouble. We'll see here. They can channel that, but oh wait. Oh, they can't channel that anymore, so they don't have to worry about that. But the Shoe Puff is the one I'm concerned about, if they have that in hand. Shortcut to mushrooms. Okay. Lots of enchantments. Lots of counters. The ring now is officially active. If I can get the weapons manufacturing to generate some more tokens, just enough, we can destroy their creatures. But the amount of counters they have on them, I mean, we're going to need hard removal. It's not going to be an easy match. We might have to also use Tough Cookie as a proxy for more stuff here, but we'll see. We'll try. Definitely going to be a grindy one here. Opponent is going to swing really hard here. Oh, Bristly Bill. Yeep. That's a troublesome card. Okay, is that it, opponents? Anything else? You still have, like, all the cards in the hand. All right, Nissa. Okay. Are we done? They tick up to Scry, so that ability happens. They get another land, by the way. So they do Scrying, free stuff, Joy, counters to go on things. Anything else, opponents? Come on. Almost there. Still waiting for the land shenanigans to be done. Okay, they can literally have all the lands in the world now. Not looking too good for us, but maybe we might have a chance to rally back. Okay. Is that it? They swinging? Maybe? They do. Okay, so we cannot take this hard of a hit, so we're just going to have to... Okay, they don't swing a Gladder. Okay. Maybe they thought we were going to try to chump block to get rid of her. Witch's Oven sacrifices the cookie. Make some food and some more tokens, so we can drain out our opponent just a little bit. Not much, but it does help. Okay, shortcut to mushrooms. Put some more counters on stuff. Okay, finally our turn. Okay, so this is our chance to rally back. We have to see if we can try here. Not going to be easy. But if we can start getting some card draw going, maybe we have what we need. Saver's not too shabby, per se. Korvold coming in. We will eat a clue. Make our opponent lose a life. We gain a card off of that. Verdant Catacombs. So sacrifice the Verdant Catacombs. Korvold does help start drawing some cards. Nice. And then from here, get the Theater out. We Surveil. Prismatic Vista. Normally we don't mind more sacking there for value, but that might not be enough for us. So for now, I feel like I want to attack, but I cannot. Only just because of all the value they have. We got to try to soften them up. Okay, Elron. All right. I will say that's one of the interesting things, at least about Lord of the Rings cards. The elves in this set are all Simic colors, so that's actually kind of neat. An interesting change of pace from the usual colors for elves, which is mostly either mono green or Golgari. That is neat, though. Okay. Rumble Arena. They do some scrying. More land drops. At the rate they're going right now, I really could just use the restroom while they're doing their thing. Not that I was going to go, by the way. Okay. More life gain. Honestly, it's not even the counters that worry me. It's just the life gain makes it a little tough for us to kind of push through the last points of damage. We got Nissa. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Okay, they scry some more. The ring goes to part 2, by the way. For those that have forgotten, the ring allows you to then make a creature legendary, and it can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. If you get to part 2, you can start discarding and drawing cards. Part 3 is where it's going to hurt a lot, because if they do any damage, if they're the ring bearer, then they get to destroy our creature. It's kind of like a pseudo death touch. And then finally, the last part, if they get to part 4, we start losing life, which for our deck, we can't afford too much more life loss. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Anything else? They have right now how much in hand? They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more mana. Oh, they can double their counters too, if they want to. Okay. Dang. Well, their value right now is Simic, so, yep. Counters, card draw, ramp, they got it all. I just honestly just want them to finish their turn. I just want to know, like, are we dead on this turn? Sylvan Anthem. Okay. More pump. Delighted Halfling. I mean, we don't have any counter spells, so we don't care about that. Still get to do more scrying. Wow. They're literally churning through the whole deck right now. Yeah. Anytime now, opponents. Okay. To be honest, again, all I'm just waiting for right now at this point is just, are they swinging? At the very least, though, Bristly Bill can't do his counter shenanigans just yet. So maybe we have a shot if they try to swing. But, oh, jeez, it's just... Is this it? Yes, opponents? Still playing more cards. Elrond, all right. Other Elrond, I should say. Okay. Still scrying. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure our opponent is probably absolutely delighted their deck is going off, but man, this is kind of boring. I'm not going to quit out of boredom. I just want to see right now if they actually have lethal. If they don't have lethal this turn, maybe. Very, very unlikely. But maybe we have a chance to at least survive another turn or two. Okay. Are we done? They have an opt on top. Are we swinging? All right, there comes a scry too. Ugh, this deck just takes forever. There's something that I know some people have talked about in Magic recently, which is called time equity. So in other words, like being courteous to players and not taking up, 5-10 minute turns just to do your thing. So I can see where some people enjoy decks like this where your deck goes off, but when you're playing against like 4 players, it can feel kind of bad, kind of boring even, because you're just waiting for someone to play solitaire and you're just kind of just staring at them until you can actually do your turn. So this is where it's important, once you get really comfy with your decks, to try to be as efficient as you can. Speed up your turns just to make sure you don't drain out your opponent of their time. At least that's how it feels at times. Okay. So the ring bearer is Tatyova. We could just get rid of Bristly Bill. Maybe there's a chance? Okay, so from here. Korvold will block there. Block Tatyova. Okay, Saber. Okay. Make opponent lose life. We draw a card off of that. They draw a card off of Elrond. But we soften up their stuff. We make some tokens. They lose Bristly Bill at least. So, we got one thing out of the way, but we're down to 8. Sounds Chocobo. Cute Chocobo, by the way, but that bird also is also gnarly. Okay. Wow, this is taking a long time. I'm kind of glad we chose to make this our final game. Even if we're going to lose here, I will say, it has been a pretty wild ride here. Opponent just continually drew so many cards. Okay. Counters. Finally. Okay. Is that it? They got to throw away... They got to throw away 2 cards. They have a Palantir on top. Okay. That also will kill us too. Okay. Ragavan. Normally I don't mind seeing Ragavan pop up, but he's not going to do anything here. So in this case, we'll Flitterfang. Well, that doesn't really help us out that much. Okay, so in this case here, sacrifice a clue. Draw a card off of that. Hang our opponent. Peregrine Took, okay. Peregrine Took makes a food at a certain points. Ragavan coming in. We will... Alright, well, go to face. That's pretty much... We'll just go with one final swing here, everyone. Whatever it takes. Okay. We will then... sacrifice 3 foods. I mean, we can do some damage here, so it's not like we're going out with a whimper here. We're trying to push through whatever we can. And then... sacrifice Ragavan. Makes more food. We will sacrifice more food. Ooh, we're actually kind of close to actually stabilizing here. Wait, did we actually get a win here? Did we actually pull off what I thought was going to be impossible? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're going to do it. Oh my goodness. Sneaky win off of nowhere. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Korvold with the out of nowhere. Wow. We had no business winning that game there. So Peregrine Took. I didn't calculate correctly there, but Peregrine Took, sacrificing all that food with Mirkwood Bats, pinged out our opponent and gave us a ton of card draw, making Korvold absolutely huge out of nowhere. Oh my goodness, I hope my opponent is salty for that one. Oh, what a way to end it, everyone. Oh, I gotta clip that one for the highlights for this year. What a game. What a game. Okay, I'm so glad that was actually on stream. Okay, everyone. I think we're not going to do any better than that today, everyone. So that is definitely our final game for today, everyone. Wow. Oh, that was a good one. I'm a little shaking from how we were able to sneak away with that win. But there you go, everyone. I think that was pretty much what sums it up for us. The power of Korvold and the buffet. Sneaky Joe piecing out right now. Good game for the stream, sir. Good night. Thanks again for the stream. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you're on halfway around the world. Well, have a good night, my fire friend. Thanks again for hanging in there for the very end. I'm glad you were able to stick around for that finale. Have a good night, and always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay, so now going back to this, because I'm going to do a quick wrap-up, everyone. So what are your thoughts overall on Korvold's buffet? Would you play the deck in any way, shape, or form? To be honest, the budget deck does lay a good foundation for what you want this deck to do. I know that obviously with Korvold here, you can definitely do a lot more with a different game plan, but I wanted to do something that was fun with food, and we have enough food now, thankfully, in Magic you could definitely make a really fun deck around just that. If you want to make it, again, I know some people are going to say they don't like Korvold because it really is easy to just draw a ton of cards off of him, and he usually is a kill-on-sight commander. But even on a budget, I think he feels a little bit more fairer. So I would definitely say, if you do like the card, just be aware that you might be a target of a lot of opponents, but you could definitely have a lot of fun with him if you want to build around just the food theme. Obviously, you can make him a lot more stronger with much more streamlined strategies, but for this version here, on a budget, I think this is a good way to play Korvold if you are a little bit tight on your resources, where it's your wild cards or it's your money. Still pretty good overall. Now, having said that, if you want to go all out with Korvold, I mean, hey, the sky's the limit. You don't even have to play the version I played today. You could definitely go with a lot of sacrifice things and tokens and whatnot, but I love my version because this one, if you want to go crazy with food, you saw right there on that final game there, that was the best way you can see how the deck can be absolutely devastating against opponents who are not prepared to stop Korvold. If we do not have to deal with spot removal, Korvold pretty much sits there and just gains free value every single turn you have him out. He literally goes off with a ham sandwich. So I love how we're able to get some really nasty wins. We did experience some devastating losses, but for the games we won, man, we went super crazy. So definitely a deck can feel hot and cold depending on how you ever look at it. But I would definitely recommend this deck if you're a fan of food and you want to play something with this color combo. Now, before we are ending today's stream, everyone, one final thing. For those of you that hung around and became my True Fire friends to hang to this very end of the stream, here's a little sneak peek as to what's coming. So we will be doing our Wrath Aggro deck. That deck is already done, and we're just trying to finish up the edits to make sure this goes live on Monday morning. If not, Tuesday morning for sure, this deck will be ready to go. So Wrath's Aggro will be a nice go-wide strategy for us, and we'll, of course, talk about an upgraded version at the end of that video. But obviously, and I know I kind of mentioned this earlier, but technically I already finished it, so for those of you that do celebrate tomorrow, whether you want to call it Easter, Resurrection Day, or in my instance, Bunny Day, yes, we're going to do something a little bit on the dirty side. So we're going to be playing with our own version of Heir Apparent, utilizing Balin here as the Haymaker, and we're going to play with this and see if maybe we can try to do another gimmicky deck with a bunch of Heir Apparents. It's time for us to be the dirty Heir Apparent deck. But stick around for that tomorrow morning, everyone. That will be there for all of you to enjoy. Beyond that, for next week, I think I'll put up a poll because I'm honestly kind of running out of ideas of what I want to play with. So we're going to ask around to see. I'm going to start experimenting with some other stuff as we get near the end of Ninja Turtles. I will do one final Ninja Turtle deck on stream once we get near the end of it before we start Strixhaven. But until then, I'll put up some polls about what kinds of decks you guys want to see. We have, for example, here just some stuff I've been playing around with, like a Pegasus deck, maybe just a horse deck in general, or some other goofy shenanigans we haven't had a chance to kind of really play around with that maybe you guys might want to see on stream. So again, leave comments below. I mean, I have other decks here I've played around with, but I never actually got around to. Maybe I'll save Aragorn here for once we get back to Lord of the Rings / and The Hobbit in the summer. But we have ideas for these coming up. So those are all there. Other decks we haven't had a really chance to play around with that I want to. It's another day. I'm playing around with another token deck and Feather I wanted to see if I can bring some new life into, but we'll do some of that stuff later on. So ideas are there and they're coming. It's just me trying to find the right time to do that. But until then, that's pretty much going to be it for today's stream, everyone. So thank you one more time to everyone that has been here for today. And I want to give a shout out to those of you that were here for especially on the chat for you guys. Even if you weren't chatting, don't fret. I still appreciate you guys just the same. But shout out specifically to those of you that were in the chat. So Paxton Ledbetter, when you said hi earlier, Noobishly Foolish, thanks again for popping in. Den Splendid as always. Affinity for anime, appreciate you popping in for the stream now. IXC Dub Subs, thanks again for saying hi as well. Also, Sneaky Toilet, thanks again for popping in for a little bit there. Appreciate you as well. And then for those of you that are popping in from other parts of the streams and other locations, still appreciate your eyeballs popping in where you can. Even if you aren't chatting on the stream, I still appreciate all of you guys. So shout outs to those of you that are watching from X and Instagram. Thanks again for being there as well. Replays for this stream will be across all socials, whether you do watch on Instagram or X, Twitch, or YouTube. But the main channel to see everything for sure will be on YouTube itself. So check everything out there. And we appreciate you guys. We'll get a chance to do this again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. So until then, have a wonderful Saturday afternoon or evening, wherever you're located around the world. And we'll get a chance to do this again tomorrow. But until then, one final thing I want to leave you with for today, everybody. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Later.